Hello everyone, and welcome to the making of Raven. This is a character design I did based on obviously the Raven, the Crow, and I wanted to create a strong warrior. So I'm going to walk you through the process, share some of the techniques. There's my Patreon account for anyone viewing this. So the making of Raven, let's begin. First thing is reference. So what I try to do is keep it simple. I found 3 elements, and there's 3 elements in the design. I went and I found a Mongolian warrior, I found a skull, and I kind of stylized it a little bit. I didn't want to make a replica of this illustration. I wanted to create something inspired by the reference. So creating a strong profile, I found this pose. Additionally, I was keeping it very simple and just was focusing on the side view, how to break it down, taking some time just to be quiet and get into the composition and study the bone structure, really observing the face and then stylizing it. So once again, I used 3 elements. I wanted to distort it, but if you see the structure here of the face, I love the way the eye socket fit in on that last piece, and I distorted the skull just to give it a little bit of cartoony edge. A stylized realism is probably one of my favorite, and being a jack of all trades, I've done a lot of different things, but this is probably my most enjoyable style or technique, is stylizing the illustration. And these are the lines that I'm putting down, showing you some of the strokes, thick and thin, defining the shape. 3 elements, as I said before. So we have the Raven character, we have the Crow or the Raven, and then I found these 2 different pieces of reference. I liked them quite a bit. I like the wing on the right hand side one, and I like the beak on the other one. So I went a little bit further, and I also always try to look up skull references. It's a good course of action to go ahead and find out what your armature, what your skull looks like under what you're drawing, and then you can push it and pull it. You can make it realistic, or you can make it stylized and cartoony. Take it to wherever you feel comfortable and what's your style. So let's talk weapons for a little bit. I knew I only wanted a piece of a weapon, but I took the time in these 3 elements to look at the weapons because I did want an authentic weapon in this tutorial. This is a quick one. It's a little bit messy, but I just wanted to say here are the 3 elements that I use to go ahead and create a simple composition and then stylize it. You do your research with your reference boards and you create something original, and hopefully it's a piece that you like. It's a piece that you can push into the stylized area, or you can make it as realistic as you want. And as always, if you're seeing this on YouTube, check out my Patreon for more tips and tutorials. We're going to move into the second part of this tutorial. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and share with you some of the pencil strokes I do. I'm just going to walk you through it. Now that you saw where I took the reference from, I'm coming in here and I'm starting to detail and finalize under my sketch. I'm using a very soft sketching pencil, airbrush pencil that I like. I like using Sketchbook Pro, and I also like using Procreate. I usually do all my sketching in Sketchbook Pro, and then I pull it over into Procreate and do the other compositions. But for some reason, for the last, I don't know, 7 years or so, I've been using my iPad on Sketchbook Pro, and I just love its pencil set that I have set up within the program. So I'm starting to establish a light source and define the illustration. I know this is stroke by stroke and going pretty fast for some of you out there, but I wanted to show you how I was laying down the pencil lines. You can see each stroke. Some are thick and thin, some are heavy, some are light. The underdrawing I like to do as light and wispy as possible, and then I like to come in, and I'm a little heavy-handed. I've always been, so I have to be real careful about not getting things too black or too dark. Ultimately, I'm going to turn this into a digital painting, and then I will take that digital painting and transfer that onto a canvas and do a traditional painting, because I'm known for traditional and digital, and I enjoy oil painting as well. So if you notice, I'm establishing a light source on the bridge of the nose, the lips, and this is still what I would consider an underdrawing to really see the structure. I'm putting in some volumetric shapes on the cheek and the face there, and doing some cross shading, getting the light source defined, the hair, and kind of just, you know, having fun with this. I did this one from my hospital bed. I was laid up for a while, and my art and some of these designs is what really got me through some tough times. So art is wonderful. Once you have it, it's like your best friend. So I'm just showing and sharing some of my techniques, some of the tips that hopefully I could share with you, and hopefully you can pick up on some of them and take your illustrations to the next level. And right now what I'm doing is I'm using a very broad grayscale and filling the canvas. I learned a long time ago in art school in New York City. My one teacher told me, fill the canvas, always fill the canvas, and then you can come back and detail it later. And this is exactly what I'm doing. I know that this was going to be a dark piece because the crow is dark, and the character that I'm naming Raven, it's not very creative, but I named him Raven, is going to have jet black hair with blue highlights, and this is part of the process. Wanted to share it with you. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, this is an underdrawing. It is I think 1 or 2 layers. I'm only doing this on a 1 or 2 layer set. I mostly draw on 1 layer. What I'm doing right now is I'm laying down some color on that second layer and then using the blur tool just to kind of push it around. And there you go. That's the underdrawing of Raven. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, and I made a little video too. Ciao for now.